Alpine has confirmed it has no number one driver, while Lewis Hamilton is focused on achieving equality. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our new home on unbeaten.com. Alpine CEO Laurent Rossi has dismissed any chance of a number one driver at the French squad, with Esteban Ocon and two-time F1 world champion Fernando Alonso sharing top billing. Alonso makes his F1 comeback this year, and to the Enstone squad with whom he won his crowns, but won't have it all his way, with Rossi stating a number one driver simply doesn't exist.
I don't think it exists in many teams, to be honest, at least not in ours. The two drivers have to be as fast as possible and will clearly challenge each other. And that's like healthy competition, and that's about it. There's no instruction and no number one driver.
Alonso was absent from the squad's launch, with the Spaniard continuing to recover from his road bike accident. But new teammate Ocon is up for the fight and keen to build on his 2020 form, including a maiden podium scored at the Sakhir Grand Prix.
I always had a great relationship with Fernando, even when we were racing back together in 17 and 18. I always had so much respect for what Fernando has done, over the years, and also racing with him has always been very close but very fair and very enjoyable.
Lewis Hamilton says his priority in 2021 is cultural change in the sport, not a record-breaking 8th title. And to move forward the work he began last year, such as the Hamilton Commission, which seeks to engage young people from black backgrounds in engineering.
Last year there was a lot of discussion about equality and inclusion, and I think there was a lot of talk. This year it's all about pushing for diversity and really making sure that action is taken. So that's kind of at the core of the drive for me, but of course we exist to win.
F1's 2021 calendar is now complete, with Portugal confirmed for the previously blank slot on May 2, making it a back-to-back with Spain, the first doubleheader on the record 23-round championship. Portugal's undulating Portimao track first joined the F1 calendar last year as a pandemic stopgap and was a smash hit with drivers, despite Lewis Hamilton's crushing win, his 92nd, to pass Michael Schumacher on the all-time career victories list. And while its 2021 return was first reported in early January, confirmation had to wait with a fresh spike in COVID-19 cases, national lockdown, and need for hotel quarantine upon return to England due to its addition to the British government's red list, which will be avoided as a back-to-back with Spain. The sport has also confirmed the Azerbaijan Grand Prix will go ahead on June 6, though will be behind closed doors due to health and safety concerns. This month's season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix will go ahead with fans, but only those who've either recovered from COVID-19 or received both vaccine jabs within 2 weeks of each other. Last year's Bahrain events were effectively run behind closed doors, with limited grandstand tickets for families of frontline health workers and first responders involved in the fight against the pandemic. But the kingdom is hopeful of a return to a more normal event in 2021. We are pleased this time to be open for a broader group of fans, said Bahrain Circuit CEO Sheikh Salman bin Isa Al Khalifa. F1 is hoping fans will be able to return to the majority of events this year, while Bahrain is even offering COVID-19 vaccines to all F1 personnel at the pre-season test and opening round. It was positivity and pragmatism as Williams launched its FW43B car, the first under new owner, US firm Doralton Capital. The squad, now led by motorsport stalwart Jost Capito and longtime F1 operations whiz Simon Roberts, hopes that the new car is another step forward, despite pandemic-forced development constraints.
For this season, I think we will fight hard with what we have. but due to the regulation, it was not possible to do a big change to the car. So we have to use what we have. We will still fight, but the major step will be we are aiming for 22 when the new regulations come in, and that's where we are already focusing on.
Williams will also wait with bated breath as to rival Ferrari's step forward on its power unit, with its immediate competitors Haas and Alfa Romeo both using prancing horsepower. While young gun George Russell is in the final season of his contract, with his bright future in the hands of Mercedes. Haas launched its VF21 online last week, its new brighter look reflecting the Russian influence of title sponsor potash producer Uralkali, which is owned by Dmitry Mazepin, father of rookie racer Nikita. But while the car may look Russian, eliciting an investigation from World Anti-Doping Agency WADA, with athletes banned from competing under the flag until the end of 2022, on track it won't be, with the team having foregone the 2 allocated tokens for development and no part updates planned for 2021. It was actually pointless to invest in the short term. It was much more important to invest in the mid and long term, and that is the 22 regulations, said team boss Gunther Steiner. That means Haas won't develop its F1 car for the 2nd straight season, aside from minor aero tweaks to the VF21 that were originally planned for 2020, likely locking it into Class C with Williams and Alfa Romeo. But it will provide a consistent platform for F1 rookies Mazepin and Mick Schumacher, who spoke exclusively with the Inside Line.
I feel like I'm in the best team to grow and to develop as a racing driver in Formula 1.
Haas reserve Pietro Fittipaldi will return to Indycar this year, sharing the Dale Coyne seat with ex-F1 veteran Romain Grosjean. Doing the ovals, the Swiss Frenchman has ruled out. Fittipaldi stood in for an injured Grosjean at the final 2 events last year, bringing the car home in both Sakhir and Abu Dhabi for a solid F1 debut. Fittipaldi remains Haas reserve driver this season, his 3rd with the team, while his IndyCar teammate Grosjean got his first taste of the series last month at Alabama's Barber Motorsports Park.
Very normal. I mean, it's a different car, it's a different position, but apart from that, everything felt great and normal. You know, I just need to get used to a new car.
Famed German marque Porsche is again considering a return to Formula One on the back of the sport's strategy to develop carbon-neutral e-fuels as part of a sustainable future. Porsche parent, the Volkswagen Group, is already involved in F1's talks on 3rd-generation biofuels and will consider returning to the grid should they form part of the next power unit regulations from 2025. It would be of great interest if aspects of sustainability, for instance the implementation of e-fuels, play a role in this, Porsche Motorsport Vice President Fritz Enzinger told the BBC. Porsche's last F1 jaunt was in 1991 as engine supplier to defunct Squad Footwork, but the disastrous association lasted just 6 events. 100-kilometer qualifying sprint races are expected to make their debut in Canada, Italy, and Brazil, but the regulations required to make them work are yet to be finalized. Liberty Media is hoping the controversial qualifying race will shake up the grid and results, but important details like engine allocation have yet to be confirmed. If we don't get the rules right because the cars are already designed and built, we could jeopardize the main race for the sprint race, said Aston Martin team boss Otmar Zafnauer. Pirelli will remain F1's sole tyre supplier until the end of the 2024 season, with the Italian brand granted a 1-year extension after the COVID-19 pandemic forced the delay of the switch to 18-inch rubber. Pirelli was originally contracted until the end of 2023, with the extra year ensuring that it has 3 as manufacturer of the new lower-profile spec. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.